Henry Behrens was the smallest man in the world. He stood so small that his pet cat was nearly his size. In 1956, at his home in Worthing, he danced with her in the doorway. Some people have the biggest joy in the smallest lives. Gerald Ford was a U.S. Navy pilot before he became president. In 1944, aboard the USS Monterey, he spent his off hours playing basketball in the elevator well with fellow pilots. The future leader of America was just a young man trying to win a game. On September 11, 2001, a man stood on a dust-covered street and picked up a piece of paper blown from the World Trade Center. It could have been someone's work. Someone's last email. He read it anyway. These are Italian tankmen of the LXI Tank Battalion photographed in North Africa in November 1940. One of them is Umberto Alfano, marked by a green cross above his head. 2 months later he was captured at Bardia and never went home the same man. In early 1917, the 4 daughters of Tsar Nicholas II contracted measles and lost their hair. Olga, Tatiana, Maria and Anastasia shaved their heads to manage the loss. Within 2 years all 4 of them would be dead. In 1897, a group of young women ran across an open field and climbed a hill together. No cameras were meant to catch this. Someone did anyway. For one moment they were not ladies. They were just girls. Gary Cooper and Sylvia Sidney starred together in City Streets, released by Paramount in 1931. It was one of the first major crime films of the sound era. Cooper was 29. It was the only film they ever made together. This is a photograph of Mrs. Yang, wife of the Chinese ambassador to the United States, taken in Washington in 1895. On the back she wrote a personal note to a friend named May Morgan. A woman far from home, leaving proof she was loved here. In April 1944, 2 American soldiers posed with bombs they had labeled Easter eggs for Hitler. It was a dark joke made by men who knew exactly where those bombs were going. War makes people find humor in the strangest places. He spent his career hunting endangered animals and died the same way he lived, in the bush next to a broken-down truck. Rian Nord, founder of Pro Hunt Africa, was shot execution style in 2004 by 2 men who pulled up while he was stranded on his way to a hunt. George Custer was 22 years old in this photograph and still had 14 years left before Little Bighorn. Pictured during the Peninsula Campaign in May 1862 with William Jones and Nicholas Bowen, a young officer who had no idea what history was quietly building around him. They had crossed oceans to liberate someone else's village. Indian soldiers of a scout car crew paused to talk with young civilians in San Felice, Italy in 1943, men from the subcontinent fighting under a British flag in a European war that was never really theirs. She called her Harley the key to the whole United States and then proved it. In 1929, Vivian Bales rode 5,000 miles across America in 78 days, becoming the country's first motorcycle cover girl at a time when women were still expected to stay considerably closer to home.